Welcome to Knife Chats. So there's some kind of 40 question challenge going on through YouTube, and well, we here at Knife Chats with Tobias figured we'd go ahead and take a shot at this and show you how we handle 40 questions. So, question number one: do you like blue cheese? Blue cheese. As far as I know, Victorinox only made the cheese knife with red handles. So chances are, if you're coming across one that has blue handles, somebody probably just swapped them out. And I guess if that's something you're interested in, that's fine. But I'm a purist. I would rather have the original cheese knife with the red handles. Question number two: Coke or Pepsi? Coke or Pepsi? Well, surprisingly, I don't collect advertising knives. About the only one I got is this one here for Always Display Tums, which is a pharmacy spatula combination pen blade here. Used in pharmacies for sorting pills and such. Other than that, it's mostly various little giveaways and knife paraphernalia like the knife opener there by Queen Cutlery and a church key from Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and obviously the case band-aids, those kind of things. But as for like advertising knives, not too many of them. Question number three: are you in a relationship? Well, now some people have said that I have like a fixation for the toothpick knife. But I don't know if I would consider that a relationship. And I also know that there are people who have commented that I talk trash on trapper knives, and so maybe I had an unhealthy relationship with them in the past or so. But no, I think I'm still kind of open to just about any knife. Question number four: whiskey, tequila, or vodka? That actually sounds like three questions to me, but okay. Ah, yes. Reminds me of that other question. Is it a bartender's knife or a bartender's tool? I mean, really doesn't matter. If you like them, just collect them. I mean, they're kind of cool. I think the more important question is, why did they start calling them waiter's tool? Were they just trying to be politically correct? Question number five: would you take a hot dog or a cheeseburger? Oh wow, now that is really a tough one. It's kind of like that debate. Is it a sunfish? Is it an elephant toenail? Is it a sunfish? Is it an elephant toenail? I mean, well, I mean, even the knife makers don't know what it is. So, uh, if you want to call it a sunfish, call it a sunfish. If you want to call it an elephant toenail, call it an elephant toenail. Hamburger, hot dog, I mean, whatever you want. It's fine by me. Question number six: what's your favorite food? Ah, yeah, favorite foods. It's really interesting because it seems like knives used in and around food are ignored by knife collectors, and it's kind of a pity because like you see here, I mean that folding steak knife by Chicago Cutlery. I mean that's just a fantastic little knife, and you can use it anywhere, but it's really a steak knife, and so it's really the only sharp knife that should be at a table in a restaurant. That's usually the case. The steak knife is the only sharp knife at a table. Everything else is either in the kitchen or even before the kitchen. So knives used in food prep. Surprisingly, two of the knives here, like the mushroom knife and the melon knife, the melon tester, those aren't really used in food preparation. They're used in like gathering and testing food before they get to the restaurant. But now the oyster shucker, well, the oyster shucker is very versatile. It can be used before oysters get to the restaurant, it can be used in the restaurant, and it can even be used at the table. So it's really a very versatile knife when you think about it. But for some reason, food knives are pretty much just ignored by knife collectors. It's a pity. I think they're pretty awesome. Question number 7. What do you drink in the AM? What do I drink in the AM? Well, I kind of roll out of bed and just thank my lucky stars that I'm living here in the United States of America. So, I got that vision of old glory waving proudly over the nation. So, yeah, I just drink up the fact that I'm living here in the United States of America. Question number 8. Can you do 100 push-ups? 100 push-ups. I guess that would be like with those OTFs or out the front knives where you push a button or something and blade comes out and such. I'm really not too big on modern folders and out the front knives. Now I do have a knockoff gravity knife made in South Korea. That's kind of fun. You can flick that open, but I don't think I'd be doing it 100 times in a row or anything. And same thing with like a switchblade or a flipper knife. No, I can't see myself. I'm not. I'm fidgety in other ways. I wouldn't be flipping a knife for 100 times in a row. Just kind of. That's just not the way I am. Question number 5. What's your favorite season? Okay, I know you misspoke, but it's actually question number 9, not question number 5. And well, favorite season, huh? Well, that's really a no-brainer. Favorite season? Fishing season. It's all year long. Question number 10. What's your favorite hobby? Okay, now that's got to be a trick question, right? Because come on, you're at a YouTube channel that is devoted to knives and knife collecting, and you're asking me what's my favorite hobby. Are you doing that simply because you also know I have another YouTube channel that is devoted to scale modeling, and I've been doing scale modeling for about 57 years, and so maybe that's my favorite hobby? Well, maybe it's just YouTubing. Maybe that's my favorite hobby because, after all, I've got 2 different YouTube channels. You figure it out. Question number 11. Do you have tattoos? Now that's a really good question. Here you see my everyday carry knives, well, 2 of them. You got the wonderful Victorinox Explorer up there, and then you see the Spyderco Dragonfly, and I carry that Dragonfly just about everywhere I go. And yeah, to be honest with you, I have seriously thought about picking up the Dragonfly tattoo. I just haven't done it yet, so who knows? Maybe in the future I will have a tattoo. But currently, no, I do not have the dragonfly tattoo. Question number 12. Do you wear glasses? Yeah, that's a good point to bring up. Wear glasses. If you're going to be using any kind of stuff to clean your knives or anything like that, and it might splash in your eyes or something, have some safety glasses on. Also, if you're doing things like putting those blades to a grinder or something, you got all those sparks and stuff. So don't forget your safety glasses. But speaking of glasses, I've got this Imperial camp knife and it's got a little glass cutter on it. How cool is that? Question number 13. Do you have any phobias? Phobias, huh? I have not come across that knife brand yet. I really don't collect a lot of the modern folders and stuff. Matter of fact, this is probably the most expensive modern folder I have, and this is the Artisan Corsair. You might want to check with Big Red EDC. It seems like every week he's showing off another new modern folder or knife brand I've never heard of, like CJRB or Heretic or Kaiser or Pina or something like that, or Best Tech, you know. There's lots of them out there, but I haven't come across phobia yet. I'd like to see one. That'd be kind of interesting, but so far, this is probably it when it comes to high-end modern folders. Question number 14. Nicknames? Nicknames? Ah, yeah, sure. A lot of knives have nicknames. The one I'm most familiar with is probably the large toothpick because I'm very partial to that knife, so I've got a lot of them, and it's got a lot of nicknames. Some of them are definitely not appropriate and should have never been appropriate, but other ones are very common, and I'll share those with you, like Dixie Switch, Dixie Razor, Dance Knife, Tickler, Saturday Night Special. But yeah, that's the toothpick. Now you'll also sometimes hear it called a switchback, but that really isn't a nickname. That was actually just another name for the toothpick that was used by Camillus for their toothpick knives. They called them a switchback. So yeah, but yeah, other knives also have nicknames too. 15. Your favorite candy. Candy, huh? I suppose that's going to have to go to my Winchester barn door hinge candy striped toothpick, primarily because it's the only candy knife I have. I've thought about getting other kind of candy knives, but so far this is it. 16. Do you believe in ghosts? Ooh, scary. Ghosts. Well, I know they exist. But I don't have one. The closest I've got is my zombie neck knife here, which is also pretty cool. I really like it, and it cost maybe $8, $9 when I got it. But yeah, there's ghosts out there because I've seen I think it's a trapper lock by Case, designed by I think Brian Yellowhorse, the Casper the Friendly Ghost trapper lock. Man, that knife is really cool, but a little bit out of my price range. 17. Your biggest downfall. Well, biggest downfall, huh? Well, they say the first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. Hi, I'm Tobias. It's been 1 year, 4 months, and 23 days since my last purchase of a Pakistani knife with Damascus blades. 18. Rain or snow? Yeah, not only rain or snow, but you also got to worry about like salt water if you're near the ocean or something. All of that can be really rough on knife blades, especially the carbon steel ones. So like if it's a carbon steel blade and it's around salt water, you're going to want to rinse it off with some fresh water. But then still, you got to go through that whole proper maintenance thing. So make sure you got the right cleaning supplies with you and everything else, and some oil to keep those blades lubricated and everything, and a nice cleaning cloth, maybe some paste to polish them up and everything to get the rust out of there. And also make sure you don't go around storing your knives in those leather sheaths because that can create moisture and cause things to rust and stuff like that too. So, yeah, but you know what? With proper maintenance and cleaning them properly and just keeping an eye out on your knives and stuff, they'll last you your lifetime. Matter of fact, they'll last for several generations if you just take care of them. That's my key to that. So rain or snow really doesn't matter as long as you're maintaining your knives. 19. Any piercings? Piercings, huh? Well, a lot of people know that I really like the punch blade on a Stockman, not to mention a punch on a camp knife and such. But when you're talking about piercing, I think probably the best knife for piercing things would be like a V42 stiletto. Now that knife can pierce things, and it's got a skull crusher too. 20. What's your age? What's your age, huh? Well, that's a tricky one. I mean, when you get right down to it, I'd love to get more knives from around from about the 1880s up till World War II. But really, I end up getting most of my knives post World War II, and I do pick up quite a few uh, traditional pocket knives that are being made today also, but I'm really not in the modern folders. I really like the slip joints. That's where I'm at. I like those older knives, and the older the better. 21. French fries or onion rings? French fries or onion rings? Once again, you stumped me on this one. Like I said, I really don't do modern folders, and man, do they come up with some weird names for them these days. I'm guessing the onion ring is a Kin Onion Designs, like the Kershaw Leak or something. Um, not having seen either the onion ring or the French fry because of knowing Kin Onion Designs and kind of liking those. I guess I would go with the onion ring, but seriously, I've not seen either of these modern folders. 22. Do you have any kids? Yeah, kids and knives. I actually did a video on this before about when should a kid get its first knife, and basically, it really comes down to the parents. They need to know if their kid is responsible enough to have a knife or not. But personally, start them off young. The Victorinox knife you see here, is it's a toy knife, but it's for ages 3 and up. Why not get your child a toy knife at 3 years old? Let them start learning how to handle the knife properly and everything, so that when they end up finally getting a real knife, that they already kind of know how to use it and everything, and don't hurt themselves. Now, what's the best age for doing that? That really depends on the child and the family. I know these days you can't even buy a knife until you're 18 in the United States. Some places it's even worse than that. But they still teach children how to hold a knife at ages 8 or 9, maybe 10 years old in the Cub Scouts. So really depends on the child. Personally, though, once that kid gets his first knife, I think it should be just a simple single blade slip joint, something like a Sodbuster Junior or something. It should be legal in most places. It'll be something easy for them to carry, and because they're only fiddling around with one blade, that's a good direction to go in. That's my thoughts on kids and knives. 23. Your favorite color? Favorite color, huh? I think I'm going to go with stag. Is stag a color? Well, if it isn't a color, it should be a color. I'm going to go with stag. Stag's my favorite color. Yeah, stag. 24. Can you sing? The name sounds vaguely familiar. Can you sing? Is he one of the knife designers with Benchmade or with Tops or something? Can you sing? Um, I'm really not familiar with him. Like I said, I'm not up on modern folders and stuff, so um, you really should probably ask someone else about Can You Sing. But now John Eck, I know of him. I mean, he was really big back in World War II, and he designed the number 8 paratrooper buoy, and this is a Rough Rider's take on it, and I really like it. This one was made in El Salvador, and you can't find it anymore, but yeah, I like the John Eck paratrooper buoy. I know of John Eck, but no, I'm sorry, I am not familiar with the knife designer. Can you sing? 25. Can you whistle? I've probably mentioned in the past that I have a collection of whistles, and very big proponent of you never go out in the woods without a whistle, because you can blow a whistle a lot longer than you can scream for help. So always have a whistle on you. Also, as long as we're talking knives, and this is a knife channel, and that's why you're asking me all these questions, You really should check out the dog bone jack if you can find it, and it comes with a little dog whistle on it. I prefer the one with the saw cut bone, but a lot of other people like the tobacco smooth bone one. Me personally, like I said, the saw cut bone. But always keep a whistle with you because you never know when you're going to need a whistle. So yeah, that's my advice on whistles. 26. Where were you born? I know what you're thinking, but you could not be farther from the truth. Yes, I was born in America, but that doesn't mean I don't like knives from all over the world. So I collect knives from just about anywhere. Heck, even this knife here, it's stamped US, but it's made in Switzerland. It's a Victorinox Rambler. 27. Do you have any siblings? Jeez. This is getting a little aggravating. I made it very clear that I do not collect modern folders. I am not up on modern folders. I have never even heard of the name Siblings. I don't know what company that is. Unless this is some really old company that went out of business a long, long time ago, I'm not sure why you're asking me about it. I've never heard of it. Why don't you ask me about Case? Here's a wonderful seahorse whittler, and why don't we talk about something like this instead of knives I don't have? Please. 28. Can you cook? Now you're just being silly trying to pull a fast one on me. I happen to know that Cook is not a knife company. However, I do have a Cook's Imperial bartender knife, and Cook's was a type of wine, and the knife was made in Becker, Germany. So there you go. Yes, I can Cook's. I got a Cook's knife. 29. Can you swim? Yeah, can I swim? Well, I suppose so. I've got this Orca dive knife, and it's really for scuba diving and stuff, but I guess you could use it snorkeling too. And snorkeling is kind of like swimming, just swimming underwater. So, and the dive knife has got a little tip that you can use for prying things, and then you got a serrated portion for cutting through harder material under the water, and then you got a nice fine edge going on there, and then you've got the big kind of like a gut hook that you can use for cutting line and stuff like that, and it's got a magnet that you could hook onto an oxygen tank. So yeah, I guess so. I could probably go swimming. And also, like when I'm around water, I usually have my storm whistle with me, and that's rated at like a mile. You can hear it from like a mile away, and you can actually blow it underwater, like 6 feet of water, and you're supposed to still be able to hear it up on the surface. So I think I'd be okay. Yeah, swimming, storm whistle, dive knife. Yeah, I'd be okay. 30. Are you religious? I'm reminded of that line that Linus Van Pelt delivers in It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, where he says, there's three things you should never talk about: religion, politics, and the Great Pumpkin. So I'm just going to let my guardian angel toothpicks answer that question for me. 31. Shower or bath? Hmm. Shower or bath? I really haven't given it that much thought. I would probably grab something in the Spyderco Salt series. I mean, if it's good in salt water, it should be good in bath water or shower water. So that's the one I would grab. I mean, it's got the H1 blades in it, which are really rust resistant. So that would be good around the shower or in the bathtub. That would be my thought. But and I would probably grab like the Dragonfly Hawkbill in the Salt series. I just kind of like the way that looks, and I've been thinking about getting it. I just haven't done it yet. So, yeah, that would probably be the one I would buy. But shower or bath, I, I can't imagine bringing a knife into the bathtub. It just doesn't seem safe. And I mean, what are you going to do? Liberate your soap on a rope from the rope or something with it? It just doesn't make any sense. So, no, I would say no. Don't bring a knife in the shower or the bath, even if it's uh, rust resistant. Just doesn't make any sense. 32. Would you rather be in the big city or out in nature? Big city, out in the wilderness, no brainer, man. Grab your Victorinox Huntsman. All bases are covered. Doesn't matter if you're in a big city, out in the middle of the wilderness, the Victorinox Huntsman is the knife you're going to want to have with you. You got your little pair of scissors there, which are great for cutting all sorts of things. You got a wood saw. And then you got a cap lifter screwdriver, so you can open your beer bottles anywhere, and that screwdriver is great for flathead screws. And then you got a can opener screwdriver on the other end, and that little screwdriver on the can opener, that works as a Phillips driver too. So you can open Phillips screws and flathead screws with your Victorinox Huntsman. And then you got a corkscrew too, in case you want to open some wine, or corkscrew can be used for a lot of other things. And you got a punch blade, so there you go too. You really got every base covered. Plus you got two blades on there, and both of them are under 3 inches, so it's pretty much legal to carry anywhere, even in most of the big cities. So Victorinox Huntsman, it's got your bases covered. There you want it. That's it. That's the knife you want. Big city, wilderness, doesn't matter. Go with the Victorinox Huntsman. That's what I would say. 33. Are you a good friend? Am I a good friend? Well, I hope I am, but you know what? If you're a good friend or not is not decided by you. It's decided by your friends. And so in this case, I'm going to leave it up to my YouTube subscribers. Am I a good friend? I could have been talking about hot dogs and hamburgers and showing you pictures of Coke or Pepsi, but instead, I decided to show you pictures of knives, like this one here, the Linder Pro Nicker with the little dachshund on it, and my 108 millimeter German Army knife by CCM. Would you rather see this, or would you have rather seen Coke or Pepsi? 34. How about broken bones? Let me tell you, if you're going to be collecting traditional pattern knives with bone handles, and especially if you're looking at older ones, eventually you're going to find some with little cracks in the bone handle. This happens a lot near the pin that holds the backspring in place, and it's a common thing, especially with older knives. The bones sometimes crack. It's not the end of the world. Now, if it's a brand new knife with a cracked bone, I would be very upset, and I would just send it back to the manufacturer. That's the way I would handle that. But as for broken bone handles, normally I see those on eBay and I just pass them by. An exception is this knife here, which actually I did not get from eBay, but it was given to me, and it belonged to a very good friend of mine who passed away. This is an old Case Mini Trapper with the pin blade, and you can probably tell down by the bottom of the knife there, the bone was actually broken away, and I have since repaired it using some marine epoxy. But yeah, you can tell that it's been repaired, at least when you're looking at it close up. But someday maybe I'll send it into to Case, but as it is right now, I'm happy with it, and it just brings me good fond memories of a friend who's no longer around. So in this case, I made an exception to a knife with a broken bone handle. 35. How many TVs? TV? I assume you're referring to Tuna Valley knives, and I can tell you right now, they are gorgeous. And I can also tell you, I don't own any of them. Quite frankly, they're just totally out of my price range. I just cannot afford them. I can barely afford the Great Eastern knife that you see here in front of you. This is the little Great Eastern Templar, which I really dig and I like it a lot. But I just recently started picking up Great Eastern knives, and I picked them up very sparingly because of how much they cost. So, and Tuna Valley knives, yeah, they're just out of my price range. I'd love to have one, but I just can't afford it. 36. What's the worst pain you've ever had? Most painful thing? Yeah, I don't know if it's the most painful thing, but it really kind of hurt when I lost my Camillus Air Force survival knife a long time ago. Um, well, I actually think it was stolen. At least I like to think it was stolen. I'd hate to think it was just unhappy and ran away or something like that. But yeah, that was pretty painful when I lost my Camillus Air Force survival knife. I've since replaced it with this Ontario, but it's just not the same. When you lose a knife like that, it just I don't know, kind of sad. I mean, it's not like kidney stone pain or heart attack pain or anything like that, but yeah, losing a knife is painful. I think it was stolen. 37. Do you like to dance? Dance? You mean like Bill dance? Well, I got a Bill dance fillet knife that's made by Frost, and it's kind of sucky. I really don't like it too much. I've thrown it in my giveaway box actually, but I'm almost ashamed to give it away because of well, just how junky it is. But now Bill Lowen, I got a couple of his fish knives. They were made by Buck, and they're pretty solid. I like them. You see there the Bill Lowen toothpick up on top, and then you got the Bill Lowen teardrop jack on the bottom, and those really look great, and they're solid, well-made knives. So between the two, I would go Bill Lowen over Bill Dance. But on the other side, though, like I got a set of Three Legends fishing gloves, and those are really good. And Bill Dance is a partner in Three Legends. So yeah, I guess Dance is okay, but I like the Bill Lowen knives better though. 38. Do you like to camp? I suppose some of you are expecting a picture of a bunch of camp knives, but nope. We're just going with the Bare Necessities, the Bare Necessities Camper by Victorinox. That kind of says it all right there. Yeah, and then a few other knives in the picture just for fun, like the Boker up in the corner there. I love equal length pen knives with those hunting scenes on it and stuff. Those are just so cool. And then you got my uh, hiking classic SD and my gone fishing classic SD. And if I haven't mentioned it before, you know what? If you're out in the woods, always bring a whistle with you. And also take that advice from Smokey Bear. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires. All right, here you go. A wall of camping knives. 39. Are you weird? Weird? Whatever in the world gave you the impression that I'm weird? 40. Tag six friends. Okay, technically that's not a question. So what I'm going to do is just show you a picture of this Hammer brand folding buoy and call it a day. Thanks for visiting. I hope you enjoyed my answers to 40 random questions, which were pretty stupid as far as I'm concerned, but hey, it's done. Let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with the Pious. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up or that you know what. And also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.